Thanks for tuning in and thanks for the support. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And this is my first video of me just talking, so it does feel weird. I don't see how YouTubers do it, honestly, because I just feel like I'm talking to myself. But anyway, that's besides the point. But this video is just to talk about how I've dealt with things since Cody's passing, how Cam has dealt with things, and just about him, about us, really. And I'll start out with, at the time of his passing, we weren't together, but we were, of course, we were still communicating because we had a child. But I remember 2 weeks before it actually happened, he had called me over to his aunt's house. He told me to drop Cam off, and when I got there, he was like, you know you got to get out, right? So I'm like, okay, I'll get out. So I get out, we stay over there for, I don't know how long it was, but we had a conversation, like a real conversation. That sounds crazy, but that's what it was. It was a real conversation. He told me how much he loved me, how much he missed me, and he looked at me, he smiled at me, and it was just, I don't know how to describe it now looking back on it. Because if I knew that was my last interaction with him, I would have made it longer. And I am sorry if I cry. I don't want this to be like some sad thing, but I just want to express how I feel, so maybe someone could express their feelings. So we were laughing and having a good time. Just, it felt nice. And I'm sorry. So 2 days, he was killed on a Sunday. So Friday and Saturday, I called Cody. I never had to call Cody. He always called me or texted me for whatever. It didn't matter. I just never called. But on Friday, I called him, and on Saturday, I called him. Friday, me and Cam, I remember we were riding down the bypass, and he was like, Mama, call my daddy. So I had called him, and the first thing Cam said was, my mama hit me. I didn't even whoop Cam. Well, Cody, he was like, I'm going to get your mama. I'm going to get her. And Saturday, I had called, and we had talked. So Saturday night, I had stayed at my mom's house till about 11:30, 12. And we were going to church Sunday morning. So when I got home, I got me and Cam ready for bed, and that was it. We went to sleep. And I got a phone call about 3 o'clock in the morning. And me being tired, I just clicked it and went on back to sleep. And then it rang again. And I seen it was his sister. So I answered the phone, and she was like, Cody been shot. And that's all she had said. She didn't really know too much at the time. She was on her way to the hospital. And I remember asking her, did she know if I needed to come or not? And she just said if I wanted to. And I was like, okay. So by the time I got off the phone with her, I got another phone call, and another phone call, and another phone call. So me, my aunt, and my cousin, we all on the phone. And they were like, you know, you need to go down there. You don't know how he's doing. If he see you, if he see Cam, you know, that might make him want to fight for his life. not knowing what the circumstances were. And I was like, yeah, you're right, but I don't want to go down there and they tell me that he's gone. And I remember I immediately like burst into tears. So I was like, okay, well, I'll go down there. And my aunt, she came to get me in the so I'm getting me and Cam's clothes on. She called me and let me know she was outside. I kid you not, the moment she opened the door, I got another phone call saying that he had died. I remember screaming, dropping my phone. Cam, he was in my arms and I couldn't do nothing but hold him tighter. So my aunt, we get in the car and she takes me to the hospital, and that seemed like the longest ride to the hospital that I have ever taken. And we got there, it was people everywhere. I seen his mom getting in the car, his sister, she was getting in the car. Everyone, by the time I got there, everyone was leaving. So I get out of the car and I'm like, who's seen him? How do you know if nobody's seen him? And it was just like, I can remember, but I can't remember. Like, some of it is like a blur. But I do remember when we left the hospital, or when we were leaving the hospital, Cam, he cried and he was like, my daddy. And I'm like, how do you know that? So that night, I went back to my mom's house and I didn't even go to sleep. I cried all night, all morning. Every time I looked at Cam, I cried. Every time I closed my eyes, I cried, because like, how is this real? So Sunday, like, I don't even remember Sunday, honestly. I really don't. But I remember Sunday night, I did not go to sleep. But I went to school the next morning. Our summer classes had started. And I went to school and I took my test. And I think I made like a B on that test. And I don't even know how, with, my mind racing and everything. So I left school early and went to his grandma's house, and they told me that the news wanted to talk to someone from the family, and I was like, okay, I guess I'll do it. I don't know how to, I know how to talk, but in front of a camera, I can't even do this, and it's just me by myself. But anyway, so I was like, okay, I will. And I remember walking to Pearl Street, and Cam seen Cody car, and he was like, that's my daddy car. Where my daddy at? And it still feel like it just happened. Like, that's crazy. And I don't know. I don't even know how to describe how that feels. And he walked up to the door and he was like, my daddy. Like, how do you tell a 2-year-old child that he wasn't even 2 yet, that they're not gonna see their daddy again? I think for like 3 days, maybe 4, I could not even look at Cam without crying. He stayed with my aunt, and I still continued to go to school. I honestly don't even know how I made it through the first week of school, because I barely slept. I barely ate. but I did it. Don't know how. But I remember saying to myself that I got to finish school. It don't matter. I got to finish school because I'm all Cam has now. And that day that we were on Pearl Street, you probably seen like the news clip where Cam, he wiped my tears and he asked me, was I okay? But that's not even half of what Cam does. I remember, I think it was his first night staying with me after everything. Like, instead of me laying him on my chest, he put his arm out, like, for me to lay on his chest. Like, he told me that he got me. And he wasn't even 2. Like, that was so crazy to me how how smart he is. Like, besides that day that we had went on Pearl after it first happened, Cam has not once said, where my daddy at? Like, when he asks for him or he wants to see him, he be like, Mama, I want to see my daddy on your phone. And I got like this album where it's only pictures. If Cody in the picture is in the album. So it's like pictures of me and Cody, pictures of me, Cam, and Cody, Cody and Miracle, or it's just a whole album filled with pictures of Cody. And he has this favorite video. I think I took the video when Cam was like 4 months old, and Cody was like, give me that big nose, boy. And that's his favorite thing to look at about Cody. Like, he knows his name. He knows my name. Like, when we looking at the pictures, I be like, Cam, who is that? That's my daddy. I'm like, what's your daddy name? Cody Hawkins. I'm like, what's your mama name? Kadesha Brown. And who is that? That's Cam. That's me. He is so smart. Like, it's crazy. It's so crazy. Like, I can't. Half the stuff that Cam does, nobody probably would even believe me, because it is really wild. It's very wild. But it's hard. Like, you don't. Now I feel like I lack a lot of empathy for people. Like, people, they get upset about the smallest things, and I'm like, okay, it's not the end of the world. You know, that can be solved, or something can be done to fix their problem. Like, I'm not saying that his passing was a problem, but that's not. I just don't have a lot of empathy for people anymore, and I'm working on that. But right now, I just still don't have a lot of empathy for anyone unless, you know, it's something I can relate to, or it's not even that it's something that I can relate to. If it's something that can be solved or it has a solution to the problem, then no, I don't really have any empathy. But like I said, working on that. And I knew that with him passing, I had to leave Greenwood. I'm not saying that I had to, but I wanted to. I did not want to stay there. Like, I had known Cody for so long. It doesn't matter what turn I take, what road I go down. It's some type of trigger that will trigger a memory that I had with him. Like, I couldn't even drive down South Main or drive down the bypass without thinking of something we did together. You know, even if it was something little. Like, I think for maybe a month or longer, I didn't even listen to the radio if I did drive, because I didn't want like a song to come on the radio and it reminded me of him, and I just started crying while I was driving. Like a lot of stuff that I did, I don't think that I should have done. Like I kind of suppressed my feelings, kind of pushed them to the side and not let them out, because I felt like I had to be strong for Cam. But really, in the end, I was hurting myself because I'm keeping everything built up inside. Like next month, it will be a year. And that is so crazy. Time really does not wait on anyone, whether you're ready for it or not. But yeah, I kind of got off track. But anyway, I knew I had to leave Greenwood. So I applied, tried to find me an apartment, and I signed my lease on Cody's birthday. November 11th, I signed my lease to move out of Greenwood, and that was crazy. Like how, it's 30 days, 31 days in a month, and I signed my lease on his birthday. It's just like every time I feel like it's like he's gone, something reminds me that he isn't. Like Cam, that is Cody. I don't care what nobody say. That's him. It's him. It's him. It's a mini version. He came back in a small child. I don't really know how to explain it. But he is definitely his dad. Like the things he say, the things he do. Like that is a little man. Cam is a little man. I can go, it's crazy. It's really crazy. But I remember, I think we were staying here maybe not quite 2 months. And Cam came in my room. He was like, "Mama, my daddy gave me this penny." I'm like, "Huh? He did what?" "My daddy gave me this penny." I was like, "Okay." And he just carried on like his daddy gave him that penny. Some days I can talk all day about Cody, and some days I can't. I can't look at a picture. If I look at Cam, I get all teary-eyed. It's just part of the healing process. I remember, I think maybe about 2 months ago, it probably wasn't that long, I was on my way to work, and I was listening to this song on the radio. Anyway, it don't matter how I was listening to it. But I was listening to the song, and it just like reminded me of Cody. Like I knew before I listened to it that it would, but I thought like I could listen to it and not have a breakdown. But I listened to it and I had a breakdown. Like I stayed in Greenwood that night, so on my way to work, I cried the entire time, and that was like an hour. So I pulled into the parking lot, and I was like, "Okay, Kadesha, you got to get yourself together. You got to go to work." So I got myself together. I went into work, and I think I was at work. I stayed at work until my lunch, matter of fact. I stayed at lunch probably about 4 hours. And I just could not hold it in anymore. I could not. I came home, I cried in the shower. After I got out of the shower, I cried in the bed, and I just could not stop crying. Like I was crying like it had just happened. And that wasn't the first time, and I'm pretty sure it won't be the last, because I don't only hurt for me. I hurt for my child. Like, when he gets older, like, what am I supposed to tell him? How do you tell your child that? What do you tell them? Oh, like, what do I tell him? And whether I like it or not, the time is going to be here before I know it. Because Cam is smart. He is super smart. Like, he knows that he hasn't seen him. He doesn't really, I don't think he, like, knows why. But he knows he has to see him on my phone. He knows that he can't call and talk to him. He knows that he has to see him on my phone. He has to go to the pictures and look at the videos. That's how he has to see him. And I don't know how I will tell him when it's time. I don't know when the time will come. But I know that I have to have answers. I have to tell him something, you know. Kids are very curious, and if you don't tell them, they will try to find answers for themselves. So yeah, justice for Cody until we get justice. Until Cam gets justice, till his mom get justice, anyone associated with him get justice, because everyone needs peace. Everyone needs closure. But I don't know. I didn't think I was going to cry this much, y'all. I'm sorry. I didn't really want it to be like a sad thing, but you just have to roll with the punches, I guess. Well, not guess. That's what you have to do. You have to take everything for what it is. What you can't change, you have to adjust. I had to adjust. I had to adjust a lot, because anything that Cam needed, or if Cam was in the store and he seen something, I called Cody. Like, Cam want this, or I seen this and I want this for Cam, or anything. Even if I wanted something, that was my go-to person, whether together or not. That was my go-to person. So yeah, I had to adjust. I had to adjust to not being able to call him when I want or need something, or when Cam wants or needs something. I had to adjust to not being able to FaceTime him, not being able to call him, not being able to ride by and see him standing on the corner of Pearl Street. It's just all a adjustment. Like, I think since everything has happened, I think I've wrote down Pearl maybe 5 times, if not less, because that's just not something that I just can't do that. And like, at first, like, when we were passing like Spring Valley, I think that, no, anyway, but Cam, he knows his surroundings, and he knows that's where he seen his dad at. So if you ride by, he'll be like, my dad down there. So I just avoided going in that direction in any way, because I did not want to, I guess, disappoint him, or I didn't want to, you know, ride down there and he see that's not where he's at anymore, you know. But he, I don't know. Everything is just, you just really have to take life as to what it is and adjust. And don't suppress your feelings. Let them out. It doesn't, you are only hurting yourself. And I still feel like I'm hurting myself. I still don't feel like I've let it out how I've wanted to, if that makes sense. Or every time I feel like I'm having a bad day, it's the wrong time. Like I'm either at work, me and Cam, we're doing something, we're out and about or something, and it's just not the right place or the right time. And by the time that I do feel like it's the right time, I've suppressed the feelings for so long that, you know, you just can't cry on command. I mean, you probably can, but I can't, you know. So it's just, I don't know how to let it out. I've accepted the fact that he's gone. I've been to the grave. I've talked. But I don't go to his grave when I'm having a bad day. So maybe I should. I really don't know how to let it all out. Because when I go to his grave, it's just like I was thinking about him, so I stopped by. It's not like, okay, you know, I'm going out here to cry, or it's just not like that. I go on a good day. And yeah, so I need to figure out a way to let it out. And if you have any suggestions, let me know. I'll try it. But I don't think that I've let it out. And for a long time, well, I'm not going to say for a long time, but when it first happened, I was mad at Cody. Like, he did something. And it wasn't even his fault. Like, I was really mad. Like, why did you leave me here with Cam? Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, you know, like it was his fault, and it wasn't even his fault. Like, it's not his fault at all. But I was mad at him. I was furious. But it was not his fault, and I know that. So, I mean, I feel like this video is all over the place, and I'm sorry. Like, I had everything. I got a list right here of what I was gonna say, how I was gonna say it, the order it was gonna go in, but it didn't go like that. And that's okay. But I thank you for tuning in, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. If you have any questions, comments, you can inbox me. You can put them under here. Anything and any ideas on how to deal with grief or any type of advice, just let me know.
What? Dad, what?